Hello, dear listeners. Today we're going to talk about something that concerns many older adults and their family members as well. We will discuss blood pressure, what it is, why it rises or falls, and most importantly, how elderly people can keep it within a healthy range. It may seem like blood pressure is just numbers on a monitor, 140 over 90 or 150 over 100. So what? Some might say. It's always been like that for me, and it's nothing serious. But in reality, blood pressure is a very important indicator of health. It directly affects the functioning of the heart, brain, kidneys, and blood vessels. I want you to look at your blood pressure as closely as you would check the fuel level in your car. If there's too little fuel, the car won't move. If there's too much and it starts overflowing, that's a problem too. Blood pressure works the same way. Both too high and too low are dangerous. High blood pressure, hypertension can lead to stroke, heart attack, kidney problems, and vision issues. Low blood pressure hypotension often causes weakness, dizziness, falls, and even fainting. Why is this especially important for older adults? Because as we age, our blood vessels become less elastic, the heart functions differently, and health conditions accumulate. What may be easy to handle at 30 can lead to serious consequences at 70. But there's good news. Blood pressure is something we can influence. While we can't always change our genetics or stop aging, we can eat a balanced diet, stay physically active, maintain a daily routine, manage stress, take medications on time. Today we will talk about these simple and accessible steps. I'll give advice that doesn't require expensive medications or complicated medical procedures. Everything will be as simple and clear as possible so that each of you can start applying it today. Imagine this. Normal blood pressure is like the key to a high-quality life in your later years. It brings energy, mental clarity, vitality for walks with grandchildren, and the ability to remain independent longer. So our goal today is to understand how to keep blood pressure in a healthy range and avoid dangerous fluctuations. In the following sections, we will cover what blood pressure actually is and how it works, how to measure it correctly at home, habits that undermine our health, how diet and physical activity affect our blood vessels, why sleep and stress matter, when medications are necessary, and how to take them properly. At the end, I'll provide general recommendations to help you live a long, active life without unnecessary heart and vascular problems. So make yourself comfortable. Let's start our discussion with the most important question. What exactly is blood pressure and why does it change? Let's start with the simplest question. What exactly is blood pressure? Imagine your heart as a powerful pump. It continuously pushes blood throughout your body. Each heartbeat pushes blood into the blood vessels. To get this blood to your brain, lungs, arms, and legs, force is needed. This force, which blood exerts on the walls of the vessels, is called blood pressure. You can compare it to a water system in a house. If the pump pushes water too hard, the pipes may crack, leak, or burst. If it's too weak, the water won't reach the upper floors. The same principle applies to our body. Blood pressure must be sufficient but not excessive. Two numbers in a blood pressure reading. When we measure blood pressure with a monitor, we always get two numbers. For example, 120 over 80. Let's break it down. The first number is the systolic pressure. This is the pressure created when the heart contracts and pushes blood into the vessles. It is also called the upper number. The second number is the diastolic pressure. This is the pressure when the heart is relaxed between beats, but blood still continues to press against the vessels. It is also called the lower number. Both numbers are important. If the upper number is high, the heart is working under strain. If the lower number is high, the vessels are under constant tension and don't relax. What is considered normal blood pressure? For most adults, normal blood pressure is around 120/80 millimol. However, in older adults, vessels become less elastic, and sometimes 130, 140 over 80/85 is considered normal. This is not always a disease. If there are no complaints, anything above 90 is considered hypertension. Anything below 160 is considered hypotension. It is important to understand that every body is individual. Therefore, it's necessary to pay attention not only to the numbers, but also to how you feel. Why does blood pressure rise? There are several reasons why blood pressure may be higher than normal in older adults. Age-related changes in blood vessels. They become stiff and lose elasticity. Excess weight forcing the heart to pump harder. Poor diet, too much salt, fatty foods, alcohol, stress, and lack of sleep hormones literally push pressure up. Lack of movement, blood circulates worse, vessels become lazy. Chronic illnesses, diabetes, kidney disease, heart failure. Why does blood pressure drop? Low blood pressure is also common in older adults. Due to dehydration, for example, not drinking enough water, when standing up too quickly, causing dizziness, as a side effect of certain blood pressure or diuretic medications, because of a weak heart rhythm. Low blood pressure may seem less dangerous, but in reality it can lead to falls, fainting, and injuries. Therefore, it needs to be monitored just as carefully as high blood pressure. Why is it so important to maintain normal blood pressure? I always tell my patients, blood pressure is like an alarm system in your body. If it frequently goes outside the normal range, it means the system is not working properly. High blood pressure gradually damages the vessels, making them fragile. Imagine, every day your vessels are under force exceeding the norm. At some point, they cannot withstand it, leading to a stroke or heart attack. Low blood pressure means insufficient oxygen supply to the brain and organs. You feel weak, sleepy, and may experience blurred vision. Therefore, the goal for every older adult is to keep their blood pressure in a comfortable zone, as close to normal as possible. Blood pressure and age. It is important to understand that blood pressure cannot remain the same as in youth. There is no need to aim for 280 at age 75. Sometimes 135/85 is a perfectly good reading for an older adult. The main thing is to avoid spikes and to feel well. That's why we will talk not only about numbers but also about quality of life. How a person feels, whether they have headaches, fatigue, shortness of breath, or dizziness. So we already understand that blood pressure is an important health indicator. But the question arises, how do we measure it correctly? If we do it incorrectly, we might get completely different numbers, causing unnecessary worry. Or on the other hand, we might miss a real problem. Why is it important to measure blood pressure at home? Of course, a doctor can measure your blood pressure at the clinic, but older adults often experience what is called white coat syndrome. As soon as they see a doctor, their blood pressure rises from anxiety. At home, in a calm environment, the numbers are usually different and closer to reality. Blood pressure also changes throughout the day. It may be different in the morning, afternoon, and evening. That's why it's important to check it regularly at home to see the full picture. When is the best time to measure blood pressure? In the morning, right after waking up, before breakfast, and before taking any medication. In the evening, before bed, in a calm state. If you feel unwell, headache, weakness, or palpitations, measure your blood pressure outside the usual schedule. It's best to keep a blood pressure diary, record the numbers, the time, and how you feel. This helps your doctor choose the right treatment. How to prepare for measuring blood pressure? It's very important to follow some simple rules. Avoid coffee, tea, alcohol, and smoking 30 minutes before measuring. Do not measure immediately after physical activity such as brisk walking or climbing stairs. Give your body 5-10 minutes to rest. Sit quietly for 3-5 minutes before measuring. Do not talk or get anxious. Sit on a chair with your feet flat on the floor, not crossed. Keep your back supported by the chair. Place the arm you are measuring on a table so that the cuff is approximately at heart level. These simple steps make the results more accurate. Which type of blood pressure monitor should you choose? There are two main types of devices. Mechanical monitor with a pump and stethoscope, usually used by doctors. It is accurate but difficult for older adults to use independently. Automatic monitor, electronic, operates with a button and shows results on a screen. Convenient for home use. For older adults, I always recommend an automatic upper arm monitor. Devices for the wrist or finger are less accurate. Which arm should you use? The first time, try measuring both arms. If there is a difference, continue measuring on the arm with higher readings, usually the left arm. How many times should you measure? Sometimes monitors show fluctuating numbers. It's better to take 2 consecutive readings with a 1-2 minute interval and record the average. How to keep a blood pressure diary. Use a simple notebook or a special journal. Record the date and time, the measurement result, how you feel, for example, headache, fatigue, feeling well. A diary helps your doctor understand not only the numbers but also how your body responds. Sometimes blood pressure may be slightly above normal, but the person feels fine. Other times it may read 138/5, yet the person feels faint. What to watch out for. If blood pressure is consistently above 90, consult your doctor. If it suddenly rises above 18/110, this is a dangerous situation. Call emergency services. If it drops significantly and you feel dizzy or faint, seek urgent help. A small tip from a doctor: I always advise my older patients not to treat blood pressure measurement like an exam. It is not good or bad. It is simply information, a hint for you and your doctor about what is happening in your body. We already know that blood pressure is like a health signal. But what makes it high or low in everyday life? Most often, it's our habits. Here's the good news. We can influence our blood pressure not only with medication. Sometimes simple lifestyle changes have the same effect as drugs. 1. Movement and physical activity. Many older adults think, what sport at my age? But we're not talking about marathons. Even light daily activity helps the blood vessels work better. A simple 20-30 minute walk outdoors can already lower blood pressure. Light exercises at home, bends, arm swings, stretching strengthen the heart and muscles. Taking the stairs instead of the elevator is also a small workout. The main rule: move every day. Even a small morning exercise by the bed helps. 2. Reducing stress. Stress is one of the main enemies of normal blood pressure. When we get nervous, the body releases adrenaline and cortisol. These hormones constrict blood vessels and raise pressure. What helps older adults cope with stress? calm walks, listening to favorite music. Simple breathing exercises. Inhale deeply for 4 counts, hold for 2, exhale slowly for 6. Spending time with family and friends. Limiting news exposure. Watching stressful programs for hours only increases anxiety. 3. Alcohol and smoking. Alcohol and smoking are 2 factors that damage blood vessels. Smoking narrows the vessels and makes them fragile. Smokers' blood pressure is usually higher. Heavy alcohol consumption also raises blood pressure and overloads the heart. Sometimes people ask, is a glass of wine okay? And for most older adults, it's safer to avoid alcohol completely. Even small amounts can be risky for people with hypertension. 4. Salt. The hidden enemy. Many people are surprised. I barely add salt to my food, but the problem is that salt is present in many processed foods. Bread, sausages, cheese, canned goods, ready-made sauces. Salt retains water in the body. This means there's effectively more blood forcing the heart to pump harder. Simple tips. Don't add extra salt at the table. Choose products with less salt. Replace salt with herbs, lemon juice, or spices. 5. Weight control. Excess weight is one of the main causes of high blood pressure. Every extra kilogram forces the heart to pump harder. The good news, even losing 3-5 kilograms can lower blood pressure. No need for strict diets, just reduce portion sizes and eat more vegetables, fruits, and whole grains. 6. Water and hydration. Many older adults drink very little fluid, but the body needs water. When dehydrated, blood becomes thicker, vessels work worse, and blood pressure can drop or fluctuate. Recommendation: drink 5 liters of plain water per day. This is water, not tea or coffee. 7. Sleep and rest. Lack of sleep and constant fatigue are friends of hypertension. Older adults especially need 7-8 hours of sleep each night. Tips: go to bed at the same time every night. Air out the bedroom. Remove phones and TV before sleeping. 8. Healthy daily habits. Some simple habits help maintain normal blood pressure. Daily outdoor walks. Eating on a regular schedule. Practicing breathing exercises. Taking a 15-20 minute nap in the afternoon if feeling tired. There is an old saying, we are what we eat. When it comes to blood pressure, this is absolutely true. What we put on our plates every day can either help our blood vessels or harm them. In older age, diet becomes almost a form of medicine. This is salt, the main enemy of blood pressure. We've already mentioned salt, but let's look at it in more detail. The recommended daily intake of salt is no more than half a teaspoon, about 5 grams. In reality, most people eat 2 or even 3 times more. Why is this dangerous? Salt retains water in the body. Blood volume increases. The heart works harder. Blood pressure rises. What should you do? Don't add extra salt to food. Remove the salt shaker from the table. Use herbs and spices more often. Dill, parsley, garlic, lemon juice. Try reducing salt for at least a week. You'll notice that your blood pressure becomes more stable. Healthy foods for normalizing blood pressure. There is a long list of foods that help keep blood vessels healthy. Vegetables and fruits. They contain potassium and magnesium, minerals that help the heart function properly. Especially useful: bananas, apples, citrus fruits, beets, carrots. Greens: parsley, dill, spinach, celery, natural cleaners for blood vessels. Whole grains: oatmeal, buckwheat, barley, brown rice help lower cholesterol and normalize blood pressure. Fish and seafood, especially fatty sea fish, mackerel, salmon, herring. They are rich in omega-3 fatty acids which make blood vessels more elastic. Low-fat dairy products: kefir, yogurt, cottage cheese strengthen bones and help maintain normal blood pressure. Nuts and seeds: almonds, walnuts, flax seeds are sources of healthy fats. Garlic helps dilate blood vessels and reduce blood pressure. Foods that raise blood pressure. Some foods almost always raise blood pressure and should be limited or avoided. Sausages, hot dogs, smoked meats, high-salt cheeses, canned and pickled foods, sweets and refined flour products in large quantities, fatty meats, pork, lamb, fast food and processed foods, coffee and tea. Many people ask, can I drink coffee? If your blood pressure is normal, a cup of weak coffee occasionally won't harm you. But if your blood pressure is high, it's better to avoid it or replace coffee with chicory. Tea is better when green or herbal, as it gently lowers blood pressure. Hydration: water is another important factor. When you don't drink enough, blood becomes thicker and the heart works harder. Drink 5 liters of plain water per day. This is especially important in hot weather or when taking diuretic medications. Sample diet for an older adult with hypertension: breakfast, oatmeal cooked in water with fruit, unsweetened tea. Lunch: vegetable soup, a piece of boiled fish, fresh vegetable salad. Afternoon snack: apple or banana. Dinner: buckwheat, baked chicken breast, stewed vegetables. Portions should be small, but meals should be regular, 4 or 5 times a day. Small tips: if you crave sweets, choose dried fruits or honey instead of cake. If you want something salty, try seaweed or cucumber. If you want something fatty, a handful of nuts is healthier than sausage. Many older adults think, what sport at my age? I just want to live calmly. And that's perfectly fine. We're not talking about sport for medals. The point is that movement is life and it is directly connected to your blood pressure. Why does physical activity lower blood pressure? When we move, the heart starts working more rhythmically. Blood vessels become more elastic. Blood circulation improves. Excess weight gradually decreases. All of this together helps reduce the load on the heart and stabilize blood pressure. You could say that physical activity is a free and accessible medicine without side effects. What types of activity are suitable for older adults? Walking. The simplest and most beneficial exercise is regular walking. Daily 20-30 minute walks outdoors significantly improve vascular health. There's no need to walk fast. Just maintain a comfortable pace where you can speak easily. Light home exercises. In the morning after waking up, do simple exercises. Raise your arms and stretch. Bend gently to the sides. Rotate your shoulders. Light swings of arms and legs. This gets the blood flowing and provides a boost of energy. Breathing exercises. Very useful for hypertension. Try. Inhale deeply through your nose for 4 counts. Hold your breath for 2 counts. Exhale slowly through your mouth for 6 counts. Repeat 5 to 10 times. Blood pressure gradually decreases. Swimming. If you can access a pool, swimming is an excellent option. It strengthens muscles and relieves joints without overloading the heart. Nordic walking. Walking with poles is very popular among older adults in Europe. It evenly works the muscles of arms and legs, improves circulation, and helps maintain good posture. How much should you move? Doctors recommend for older adults at least 150 minutes of moderate activity per week. That's about 20-30 minutes per day. Remember, it's better to move a little every day than to do a single long session once a week and feel exhausted afterward. Important safety rules. Don't overexert yourself. Stop if you experience severe shortness of breath, dizziness, or chest pain. Monitor your pulse. It should stay below 100-110 beats per minute during exercise. Measure your blood pressure before and after activity if you're prone to spikes. Wear comfortable clothing to avoid overheating. Avoid exercising in extreme heat as it can cause a sudden rise in blood pressure. Seated exercises for those who have trouble standing. If you feel weak or have joint problems, you can do light exercises while sitting on a chair. Lift and lower your legs as if marching. Rotate your feet. Raise arms up and to the sides. Open and close fists. Make circular shoulder movements. Even these simple exercises improve circulation and overall well-being. Small tips to stay active. Walk to the store or pharmacy if it's nearby. Get off the bus one stop earlier and walk the rest of the way clean. Or do chores at home while listening to music. It's movement too. Play with grandchildren. Great exercise and joy for the soul. We often think that high blood pressure is caused only by food or age, but one of the most powerful factors is our lifestyle connected to rest and emotions. Sleep and blood pressure. When we sleep, the heart and blood vessels rest. Blood pressure naturally drops slightly. This is very important because the body recovers during the night. If sleep is insufficient or shallow, the body remains in a state of stress. As a result, blood vessels constrict. The heart works harder. Blood pressure remains high even during the day. Doctors recommend that older adults sleep at least 7 to 8 hours each night. What can interfere with good sleep? Watching TV late at night, heavy meals before bedtime, worrying thoughts, an uncomfortable pillow, or a room that is too warm. Tips for healthy sleep. Go to bed at the same time every night. Air out the bedroom. Use a comfortable pillow and mattress. Avoid watching news or TV series before bed. In the evening, it's better to drink warm water or milk instead of tea or coffee. Daytime rest. In older age, it's useful to take a short rest during the day, 15-20 minutes after lunch. This doesn't have to be deep sleep. Simply lying down with eyes closed is enough. Such a break reduces fatigue and helps normalize blood pressure. Stress and blood pressure. Now let's talk about stress. You may have noticed, as soon as you get anxious, blood pressure jumps. This happens because stress hormones, adrenaline, and cortisol are released. They make the heart beat faster and constrict blood vessels, causing an immediate rise in blood pressure. Older adults are especially sensitive to stress. Even minor everyday situations can trigger a blood pressure spike. Common sources of stress: family conflicts, financial worries, illness, loneliness, constant exposure to news and alarming messages. How to reduce stress without medication. There are simple methods that really help. Breathing exercises. Sit comfortably. Inhale deeply through your nose for 4 counts. Hold for 2. Exhale slowly through your mouth for 6 counts. Repeat 5-7 times. This calms the nervous system and gently lowers blood pressure. Walks outdoors. Even a 15-minute slow walk reduces stress levels. Music favorite melodies are more effective than sedatives. Listen to calming music in the evening. Social interaction, talking with family, meeting friends, or even a phone call provides support and reduces anxiety. Limiting news. Try not to watch stressful programs constantly. Checking the main news once a day is enough. Hobbies and creativity, drawing, knitting, gardening, even board games, all of these activities help distract and relax the mind. Balance between activity and rest. It's very important to find a balance. Older adults should neither lie down all day nor overexert themselves. The best approach is to alternate activity and rest. For example, a morning walk, a daytime rest, and light exercises in the evening. We have already talked about diet, sleep, movement, and rest. All of these play a huge role, but sometimes habits alone are not enough. In older adults, blood vessels gradually lose elasticity, the heart works under strain, and blood pressure still rises. In such cases, a doctor prescribes medication, and this is where the most important part begins. Taking the medication correctly and maintaining constant self-monitoring. Why you shouldn't self-medicate. Many older adults make the mistake of taking pills because my neighbor takes them. Changing the dose on their own or stopping treatment once their blood pressure becomes normal, this is dangerous. High blood pressure is not a simple headache you can tough out. It is a risk factor for stroke, heart attack, and kidney failure. Therefore, any medication should only be prescribed by a doctor. Only a doctor can decide which dose, at what time, and for how long to take it. Medication schedule. For older adults, it's especially important to follow a strict schedule. Take the medicine at the same time every day. Do not skip doses. If you forget, do not take a double dose. It's better to skip and take the next dose at the regular time. Blood pressure may not drop immediately. Sometimes the effect appears after several weeks. This is normal. Many older adults think, my blood pressure is normal now, so I can stop taking the pills. No, medication works only while you are taking it. As soon as you stop, blood pressure rises again. Self-monitoring of blood pressure medication works effectively only when we understand what is happening in our body. That's why a home blood pressure monitor is necessary. Tips: measure blood pressure in the morning and evening at roughly the same times. Always record the results in a notebook. Don't measure immediately after eating or physical activity. Wait about 30 minutes. Keeping a blood pressure diary helps your doctor select the optimal treatment. Common mistakes when taking medication: I'll take it only when I feel unwell. This is dangerous. Blood pressure can rise silently and still damage blood vessels. I feel better so I can stop. This is a major mistake. Stopping medication without consulting a doctor can lead to a hypertensive crisis. Taking medication with alcohol, this is especially dangerous for older adults. Alcohol can enhance or weaken the effect of the medication, making blood pressure unpredictable. Combining with other medications, many people take pills for the heart, joints, or stomach. All of these can affect blood pressure. Always inform your doctor about all medications you take. Interaction with your doctor. It is very important not to be afraid to communicate with your doctor. Ask why each medication is prescribed. Write down recommendations. Bring your blood pressure diary to appointments. Remember, a doctor's goal is not to load you with pills, but to find the minimal effective dose that keeps your blood pressure in a normal range. Medication and lifestyle. Some older adults think, if I take pills, I can eat salty food, skip walks, and get stressed. This is not true. Medication is helpful, but it is not a replacement for a healthy lifestyle. If you combine medication with a balanced diet, daily walks, and restful sleep, your blood pressure will be much more stable. Common mistakes older adults make when managing blood pressure. Mistake 1. I measure my blood pressure only when I remember. Many people buy a blood pressure monitor but use it irregularly. Some measure only when they feel unwell, others forget for weeks. But blood pressure can rise without symptoms. You may feel fine while the monitor already shows 160 or 170. This is a silent killer. A stroke or heart attack can happen suddenly. Tip: measure your blood pressure every day, ideally in the morning and evening, even if you feel well. Mistake 2. I take medication only during a crisis. Some older adults think that if blood pressure is normal today, medication is not needed. This is incorrect. Medication works only when taken regularly. Its job is to keep blood pressure at a safe level, not just lower spikes. Tip: take medication according to your doctor's schedule, even if you feel healthy. Mistake 3. I trust my neighbor more than my doctor. A very common situation. This pill helped my neighbor. My friend takes this, try it. Each person's situation is unique. Different hearts, blood vessels, kidneys, and even different reactions to medication. What helps someone else may harm you. Tip: listen only to your doctor. You can hear advice from friends, but don't follow it blindly. Mistake 4. I measure blood pressure incorrectly. Even people with a monitor often make mistakes. Measuring immediately after eating, measuring under stress, talking during measurement, holding the arm unsupported. Tip: sit comfortably, lean on the chair back, place your arm on a table and stay silent. Take 2 measurements in a row with a few minutes between them. Mistake 5. I forgot about salt. It's hard to give up salty food. Many think just a little pickle or a piece of herring won't hurt. But even these small amounts can raise blood pressure by 20-30 units. Tip: gradually reduce salt. Use herbs, spices, and lemon. Mistake 6. I move around at home so I don't need walks. Older adults often think that household activity counts as physical exercise. It is not the same. Moving around the house is activity, but a calm outdoor walk is preventive for hypertension. Tip: go outside for at least 20-30 minutes a day, even if it's just walking around the yard. Mistake 7. I don't bring my blood pressure monitor to the doctor. When older adults visit the doctor, they often cannot report their home blood pressure readings, yet the trends are crucial for adjusting treatment. Tip: keep a blood pressure diary and bring it to your appointments. Mistake 8. I consider stress normal. Many think, I've always been stressed, it's just a habit. But constant tension is a direct path to high blood pressure. Tip: find ways to relax. Reading, breathing exercises, music, walks. Consistency is key. Mistake 9. I forget to drink water. Some older adults drink only tea or coffee. As a result, the body becomes dehydrated, blood thickens, and the heart works harder. Tip: drink clean water at least 1.5 liters per day. Mistake 10. I don't believe in prevention. Some think, I'm already 70-80 years old, it's too late to change. In reality, even in older age, lifestyle changes make a difference. Less salt, more sleep, daily walks, and medication stabilize blood pressure. Tip: it's never too late to take care of yourself. So we've gone from understanding what blood pressure is to concrete steps on how to control it. Let's summarize all the advice in one place. 1. Understand your blood pressure. Blood pressure is the force with which blood presses against the walls of your blood vessels. For older adults, normal values can be around 120-140 over 70-85, but the most important thing is stability and how you feel. Monitor your blood pressure daily and keep a diary. 2. Maintain a healthy lifestyle. Move every day. Take walks. Do light exercises. Practice breathing exercises. Manage stress. Listen to music. Practice deep breathing. Spend time with loved ones. Enjoy hobbies. Sleep at least 7-8 hours per night and take a short daytime rest if needed. 3. Nutrition is your ally. Reduce salt intake and avoid processed and smoked foods. Eat more vegetables, fruits, whole grains, fish, and nuts. Control your weight. Even a small loss of a few kilograms helps the heart. Drink enough water throughout the day. 4. Medications are helpers, not magic. Take medications exactly as prescribed by your doctor. Do not stop taking them even if your blood pressure is normal. Keep a blood pressure diary to help adjust therapy if needed. 5. Avoid common mistakes. Do not measure your blood pressure irregularly. Do not rely on advice from neighbors or friends. Do not ignore stress and fatigue. Always measure blood pressure correctly. 6. Small habits lead to big results. Take the stairs, walk in the park, do light exercises, use herbs and spices instead of salt, listen to your favorite music instead of stressful news. Stay socially active, smile, and take care of yourself. Final thought: blood pressure is not a sentence or an inevitable problem of old age. It is a tool that tells you how your heart and blood vessels are functioning. If you learn to listen to your body, measure blood pressure correctly, and apply simple daily habits, you can live a long, calm, and high-quality life. Remember, every day is an opportunity to help your heart and blood vessels work better. Small steps, a walk, a salad instead of processed meat, a glass of water, proper breathing, and good sleep add up to a long and healthy life. In conclusion, measure your blood pressure, stay active, eat healthily, rest properly, take medications as prescribed, avoid mistakes. Follow these rules and your blood pressure will stay in the normal range while your quality of life remains high.